In this live stream, I'm going to try something completely new. I'm going to see how a recording works while learning geography while sitting in a park. I have my telephone hotspot connected. I'm just in a beautiful park out here with palm trees. I live in a place where palm trees grow and rents are low, supposedly, anyway. Uh, but what I'm going to work on today is just to kind of show you how to get into Click and Learn software, how to practice with, and let's work on countries of South America this morning. I'm going to uh, get into clickandlearnsoftware.com. I'm going to bring this up on the stage and let's see if we can make that bigger. There we go. Okay. So, what I'm going to do today is in this video, it's going to be short. I'm just practicing. I'm going to get into clickandlearnsoftware.com. I go to clickandlearnsoftware.com and I click the play now button. That's going to bring up a set of free geography games that are free to everybody. I'm currently logged in, but I will log out and show what it looks like when you enter the system without just at random being. Yeah. So I'm going to go right down. I'm going to scroll down here to the game about each of these thumbnails is a game. And I'm going to go to uh, log out. I'm going to stop sharing because that wasn't working right. I didn't have it set up correctly. So now I'm going to get back into uh, sharing. Share the screen and share just one item. And that will be the main intro to Click and Learn Software.com. I'm going to go to bring it to home, and then I'm going to go to back to streaming. I'm going to add that to this stage. Okay. Now that's on the stage. If it wasn't in the stage, you'd see all of just the park around me. Add to the stage, and I'm going to get right into. I'm going to go to clickandlearnsoftware.com and click the play now button. What you see now is what you would see just by going there without having to log in or anything. And we believe that geography knowledge is so important that we give our basic geography games away for free at this website. Each of these thumbnails, each of these icons is a game that you can get into. And with these games, you can learn the continents and oceans, 50 states, countries of South America, countries of Central America, provinces of Canada, 31 states of Mexico. We have 50 countries listed for Europe, 50 countries for Africa. I'm going to exit from there. We also have 30 games to help you learn 31 countries of Southeast Asia. And then we have 19 countries in the Middle East. We also have games about the Caribbean and the South Pacific. But let me go to South America because that's the easiest one to present. It leads you through two levels where you go through the games, learn the countries alphabetically and then randomly, and then we get into the test mode where we show that we have actually learned them. So I'm going to click that button to get into the uh, game about countries of South America. I click single player and I click go. There are 7 buttons on the screen, one button for each of the first 7 countries alphabetically. We present the information alphabetically because once you know the alphabet at like 4 years old, 5 years old, whatever, if you can learn 26 characters of the alphabet in at that age, you can easily learn 14 countries of South America at the same age and higher. Anybody higher, older than 7 years old should be able to use this system to learn countries of South America. When you get into the 50 states, that's a little bit more complicated, but it just takes more time. It's the same process. So let me show you how this system works. I got into, first of all, I'm going to exit, get right back in. I'm going to go to show you how we got in. I go to clickandlearnsoftware.com, click the play now button, click the button to learn the countries of South America. click single player, and I click go. There are 7 buttons on the screen. The questions asked us to find Argentina. One of these 7 buttons is Argentina. When I click the correct button, I get a green light and the button disappears. As you can see, the question changes to Bolivia and we're racing the clock. One of these 6 buttons now is Bolivia. If we get it wrong, we get a red light, as you saw, and it tells you that this is Ecuador. So we're learning even when we click the wrong answer. I'm going to click OK. Again, it's still asking for Bolivia. Is this Bolivia, that Bolivia, so forth. I know this is Bolivia. I'm going to show that. I'm going to click that button. You get a green light, and now it asks for Brazil. At any time in the system, when it asks a question in the learn mode or the practice mode, after 5 seconds without clicking the correct answer, the show me button appears. You can use the show me button at any time to find the answer to the question. In this case, the question is Brazil. It showed me that this is Brazil. It asked for Chile. Is this Chile? No, that's Colombia. Use the show me button. Okay, there's Chile. Okay, so now I know it asked for Colombia. I just clicked Colombia a minute ago. It asked for Ecuador, and there's only 2 buttons on the screen. One of these is Ecuador, and one of these is not. This is Ecuador. It asks for Falkland Islands. Even your kindergarten student can find the Falkland Islands on this game because that's the only button left on the screen, so that makes it easy. That's the whole process. Make it easy, and fast. We did not beat the clock, so we click the go button to repeat over and over until we can identify all 7 questions alphabetically. In order to beat the clock, you don't have time to look at the question each time. You have to know that after I click on Argentina, go to Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Falkland Islands, without even looking at the question. We do it alphabetically. That makes it easier. And now we beat the clock. We can repeat with this button. I'm going to click that just to repeat, just to reinforce what we know before we go on to the next level of 14 questions. That's for Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Falkland Islands, without even looking at the questions. So I know that I beat the clock. And now we're going to the next level with 14 questions. Our system uses 14 questions at a time, 7 questions at a time. 7 questions seems to be a magic number that we can remember, like the 7 letters of 7 numbers of our telephone. I remember from when I was when did we get our first telephone? Must have been 10 years old. And I still remember back, that was 68 years ago. And I remember the phone number of my aunt and my grandmother, because that's what we used to call each all the time. MA 32782 and MA 47243. MA was Mayfair. And I don't know which is which. One of those is my aunt and one of those is my grandmother. So we're going to get right into going into the countries of South America. I got clicked out because of the Wi-Fi disconnected temporarily. I clicked single player. It still asks for Argentina. I already know these 7. I know Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Falkland Islands. And you may notice that I'm whispering as I click, because when we whisper as we click, we learn faster because we use 4 of the 5 senses to help us learn. We say it. When we whisper, we say it, we hear it, we see it on the screen, and we touch it with a mouse. So that's why we whisper and we learn faster. Now, after we've answered the first 7, now we go on to 7 new questions. It asks French Guiana. And here's the other thing. It doesn't matter if you know how to pronounce Guyana or Suriname. Is it Suriname, Suriname? We all know that Mexico is pronounced Mexico correctly in Mexico. But the main thing is you have to say something. It asks for French Guiana. I click on, okay, that's Venezuela. It still asks for French Guiana. Okay, that's Peru. Oh, remember the show me button. That just appears after 5 seconds without clicking the correct button. I use the show me button to show me where French Guiana is located. Now it asks for Guyana. Is this Guyana? No, that's Suriname. Is it Suriname, Suriname? It doesn't matter. You have to say something. And if you get it wrong, if you ask your teacher how to pronounce something, there are counties of the United States that I have a hard time pronouncing unless I called, actually, I called the Chamber of Commerce occasionally. How do you pronounce your county? In your case, you ask your teacher, but it told me I've clicked on Suriname, and that was Suriname. Now that's for Guyana. Is this Guyana? Okay, I got a green light. A button disappears. Question answer Paraguay. I remember this is Peru. It said this is Venezuela. I think one of these is Paraguay. Let's see if this is Paraguay. No, that's Uruguay. Uruguay. This must be Paraguay. And it is. And now it asks for Peru. I remember that one. Suriname. No, that's Venezuela. Suriname. Maybe this is it. Okay, Suriname. Uruguay and Venezuela. We did not beat the clock, so we go through that process over and over until we can beat the clock. We already know the first seven: Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Falkland Islands, and now we get to the next seven. French Guiana. I remember this was French Guiana. This is Guyana. Paraguay. Paraguay was down here. Is this Paraguay? Okay, no, that's Uruguay. This is Paraguay. Peru. I knew this is Uruguay, so let's see if this is Peru. No, that's Suriname. Okay, the show me button appeared. I can use that. Okay, this is Peru. And now it asks for Suriname. I just clicked that. Uruguay was down here in Venezuela. Venezuela is kind of shaped like the letter V. It's wider at the top, smaller at the bottom. That's Venezuela. We still did not beat the clock, so we're going to go through this again. Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Falkland Islands. It takes about 4 plays at each level. 4 plays to learn the next 7 countries or provinces or states or counties of your state. It asks for French Guiana, Guyana, Paraguay, Peru, Suriname, Uruguay, and Venezuela. And I beat the clock, even though I was talking so much there. And the next level, once we get through all the countries or the states or the provinces, the next level is going to be all questions in random order. This reinforces what we learned alphabetically. It asks for Colombia. Here's the other trick. Colombia is connected to Central America through Panama. Colombia is connected. Suriname, that was this one. Venezuela's wider at the top, thinner at the bottom, like the letter V. French Guiana, Guyana, Peru, Paraguay. No, that's Argentina. You notice I got the red light and it showed me that I've clicked on Argentina. The show me button still appears and works in review mode. Okay, that's Paraguay. Bolivia, I know that one. Chile, Argentina, of course we know that one. Falkland Islands is down there by itself. That's the islands. Uruguay. I know this. Brazil. One of these is Uruguay. Is this Uruguay? No, that's Ecuador. So this must be Uruguay, Brazil, and Ecuador. Even in random order, we're still racing the clock. The difference is in random order, you have to look at the question each time. So we give you more time because you have to look at the question. It asks for Ecuador. Ecuador is close to the equator down there. Suriname or Suriname, French Guiana, Argentina, Falkland Islands is easy. Chile, all these get to be easy. Venezuela, all these get to be easy the more you practice. Uruguay, Guyana, French Guyana, Brazil, Peru, Colombia is connected, Paraguay, and Bolivia. We beat the clock. Okay, we could review. We could go through this over again by clicking this button, but I'm going to click the go button and go right into working in test mode. In test mode, the difference is watch what happens. When I click the correct button, I get a green light, but the button does not disappear this time in test mode. In test mode, whether you're working on the 50 states or whatever, all 50 buttons are going to still be on the screen. Would ask for Vermont. You have to know that's Vermont, and not just because it's the only button up on that part of the screen. You have to know that's Vermont or New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and so forth. That asks for Brazil. And we're also not racing the clock. It asks for Brazil. I get a green light. The button does not disappear. It asks for Argentina. I get a green light. It asks for Venezuela. I get a red light because I clicked the wrong button. Paraguay. There's another clue. Whether it's Uruguay or Paraguay, U for Uruguay, P for Paraguay. When you put those two letters together, it spells out the word up. And up, of course, goes in this direction. So up, U at the bottom, P at the top, Uruguay at the bottom, Paraguay at the top of those two. It asks for Paraguay, Uruguay, Paraguay, U, P. Bolivia, French Guiana, Guyana, French Guiana, Peru, Uruguay, we're not racing the clock. Uruguay, remember UP, Uruguay, Paraguay, Uruguay is what it asked for, Chile, Suriname, Ecuador's on the equator, Colombia is connected. I missed one because I got the wrong answer when I missed one on Venezuela. So we're going to uh, we only got 92%, but we're going to try again with the go button. We could exit at any time with clicking this button up in the top left corner, but we're going to try again to get 100%. You can go through this over and over and over until you get 100%. It asks for Ecuador, Argentina. Let's fly through this. Chile, Peru, Colombia. Colombia is connected. Colombia, Paraguay, UP, Paraguay, French Guiana, Uruguay, Falkland Islands, Brazil, Bolivia, Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Guyana, French Guiana, Guyana, Venezuela, Suriname, and we got 100%. Once you go through the test mode and you finish the game, you can print a certificate. If I were to click this button, it would have displayed a certificate that I could download and then print and show my teacher, or just to have it in my collection as some of the things I've learned. If you're a registered user, it shows your user ID on the certificate and the date and the score that you tested. Again, you can repeat, or I'm going to click exit because I got 100% and I did what I wanted to do. And here's a couple of other things I want to show you. In any of these games where you are learning, you can click the game, but instead of clicking single player in learn mode, I'm going to switch to review mode. In review mode, we skip the part where it says do this all alphabetical order, 7, 14, 21, 28 questions as you progress through the system. And it puts all the questions on the screen alphabetically. You review it just like you're racing the clock. I'm going to click the go button. As you know, it asks for Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Falkland Islands, French Guiana, Guyana, Paraguay, Peru, Suriname, Uruguay, and Venezuela. And I use this quite often. I'm going to come on it, click this. I could exit here, or I could click this button up here to return. But the thing that I do, I'm going to exit. But the thing that I do with this is when I'm learning something new, like the countries of, let's say, Africa or Europe or Asia, or the counties of your state, I learn and learn with this system. And then occasionally I get back in, I go right to review mode, or I go right to test mode. And that's why I'm showing you these other modes. I'm going to click this game for South America again. But this time, instead of going to the learn mode, I'm going to click this button and bring it down to test mode, single player. And now I start off in test mode. I don't have to go through alphabetical or random. I go right to test mode. They're going to be in alphabetical order. It asks for Peru. We're going to see if we can get 100%. If we don't get okay, you can hear the birds crowing around me. This is really cool. This is really cool being in the park. You can hear the mourning doves occasionally. And you can hear the crow that I just heard, that you just heard. Anyway, and there's actually a crow sitting on the rock next to the picnic table where I am. Okay, enough bantering. Let's get into Ecuador on the equator, Uruguay or UP, French Guiana, Guyana, Paraguay, Guyana. We're in test mode. We're not racing the clock. The show me button does not appear. The buttons do not disappear when I click them. I know this is French Guiana, Guyana, Bolivia, Chile, Suriname, Brazil, Venezuela, wider at the top, smaller at the bottom. Colombia is connected through Panama, Argentina, Falkland Islands. That's easy. I got 100%. I could print a certificate if I wanted, or I could just move on to reviewing something else that I've learned. For example, I've been working on the counties of Texas, and I could get into working on learning, reviewing the counties of Texas. I'm going to show you that in a different video, some of the new tools we've added. But for now, I guess I would say thanks for watching. And this is exciting. I have not done live streaming for a park. Actually, I don't know if it works until I get out of this and go to YouTube and see if there's anything really there. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. click like, enter the end the stream, and see you next time.